So, one of my friends recently posted a really fabulous photo of herself, and it just was like the frequency behind it was so dramatic, and I loved it. And I immediately liked it, and I immediately was like, this is fire. I love this. And she got a lot of comments on this photo. It was very glamorous. It was just like so full of presence with a great background, like great urban background. It looked like maybe it was New York, like this was a woman that was going to take on the world. You've probably seen photos like this. They are typically put forward by these sort of like very strongly powerful female entrepreneurs and coaches online and influencers. And it come to find out that this photo that she had put out was created by AI. And I actually knew that she had taken a course that was all about how to turn your own sort of normal photos into these like extravagant, looks like you had a huge budget photo shoot AI courses. I knew she had done that course, and I, thought that was interesting, but I have a lot of resistance to AI. And so typically, like with Chat GPT, a lot of the time I can tell when somebody is using AI and when they're not. Like with the writing, I just a lot of the time I can tell, but not all the time. And so I understand that there's like a whole process with the AI where you refine the prompts or you use it in the beginning and you get ideas from Chat GPT, and then you refine those ideas and then maybe you write it yourself, or you have Chat GPT write you a caption and then you make a whole lot of edits until it sounds like you, or you train Chat GPT to sound like you. And I know that all of this is a thing, and I still have a lot of resistance to it. And I have resistance on multiple levels, mostly coming from this sense of like, but it's not real, but it's not true. Except, is it? Is it not real? Is it not true? I mean, this is the sort of thing that I'm actually contemplating. And so this conversation right here is really going to be more of a contemplation and a conversation rather than, oh, I know exactly what you should be doing around AI. So if you're interested in just kind of thinking about AI in some different ways, then stick around for the rest of this video. Hey, I am Fiona Flyte, and I am a coach and singer and awakened being here to help artists with money and personal power. Subscribe to the channel if you're interested in all things Artistpreneur, and follow me on social media, Instagram. I have got a free Facebook group. And so, come along for the ride. There's also a free masterclass, which I am really, really proud of. It's called Pie in the Sky, and it's all about going after your biggest dreams and making them come true. Okay, back to this question of AI, because I've got a number of different perspectives that I want to bring in. Now, one of them is something that Gary Vee has been saying recently, which is that AI, artificial intelligence, is going to become the new Yellow Pages. Now, I don't know about you, but I grew up with the actual Yellow Pages. It was actually a book like this big, and we actually had more than one. There was like one for Los Angeles and one for Beverly Hills and one for Culver City. They were huge. They were huge. And you would flip through them, and there were two different ways of looking. You could look by like type of business. So you could look for florists and automobile repair shops. You could also look literally for people's names like Fiona Flyte, and you would look there, or your, long lost Uncle Joe, and you would Joe Smith, and then there would be like 5,000 Joe Smiths, and you would have to call every single one. Like that was a real thing. Nobody uses the Yellow Pages anymore. We all have the internet, and Gary Vee is saying that the AI is going to take over the purpose of what used to be the Yellow Pages, or what is now like Google searching. And I've got actually some evidence that this is possibly the truth, because recently somebody asked to join my free Facebook group. There are a few different questions, and one of the questions is, how did you find me? And very recently, somebody said, Chat GPT recommended your YouTube channel to me. And I thought, okay, I think I need to revisit this resistance that I have to AI if ChatGPT is going to go around recommending me. Like, if I don't have to pay a commission, at least I should be a little bit more open to the benefits of being in the engines and like in what's being fed. But what's being fed is still theft. And so that is really concerning to me. And if you're concerned by that aspect, I recommend checking out Justine Bateman's work. She's a filmmaker who is just adamantly opposed to anything created by AI because from her perspective, it's like just blatant theft of all of our intellectual property of the ages. And it is like the ages ever since, film was created. She's a filmmaker, so it's like all of these old films that are just being fed in, and then you go, create me a movie similar to Casablanca and Fight Club. Like a mix, like give me a mixture of those. And that it's just ultimately theft, and that it is eliminating jobs for so many people in the film industry. I mean, here in Los Angeles, there's a whole thing about, a lot of actors get their start by being extras in movies, right? If you are an extra in 3 union movies, you get like the SAG, I forget what it's called exactly, but it was like a SAG thing that said, yes, I did a voucher, a SAG voucher that yes, you had done that movie or TV show or whatever, that with 3 of those, you then can join the union. You can become SAG. Now, I think they actually have opened it up. SAG is maybe easier to join now. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But there was a time where that was like a whole path to becoming, successful actor. I think Brad Pitt became a SAG member doing that. And I myself also became a SAG member doing that. But now some of these extra agencies are doing like a one-time fee where they scan you. And then that scan can be used by the production company for that particular film. So like maybe it's just one day of work. You're paid for that one scan, but you're not paid. Like I was in the movie Annie when I was like, I mean, I don't remember exactly how old I was. It was 9, 10, 11. I was somewhere between 9 and 11, and I had like 10 days of work and I made $800 and I bought a bicycle. It was like the coolest thing. Side note, but my point is that being an extra in the movies is one of the ways that a lot of people learn how to be in the movies or do TV or work in Los Angeles. Like that's a whole thing. And that's just one category that's being replaced by AI. So there's all of these questionable, ethical issues that are connected to AI. So if that is a route that you want to explore, then check out Justine Bateman's work. Now, I feel that ethical dilemma, but then I also feel this other way of looking at it where ChatGPT is recommending my business, but also ChatGPT recommended one of my mentors' programs as well, or recommended my mentor. So I was in a program with my mentor, Melanie Ann Lair, called the God Zone. And in this program that was all about like big spiritual things and being like in the zone, whether you want to call it the God zone, the performance zone, it's like being in the zone. And somebody said that they had found her work by asking ChatGPT, like, here's what I'm dealing with. This is what I'm looking for. Who do you recommend? They recommended this particular coach, Melanie Ann Lair, and this person found their way into a program called the God Zone, which had the group start to contemplate about whether AI is really all that like robotic and artificial, or whether it's just another way for God or for source to send us messages and to guide us and to help us. And so I'm just interested and I'm working on my own resistance and seeing, well, are there places that I would want to use AI or not? And For me, there's so much of my voice, myself, that comes through when I speak and when I write, but I can't imagine abdicating my responsibility for that part of it to something else or to artificial intelligence. Like it's so true to who I am and to what I'm meant to be doing. But does that mean there might not be some other area that maybe I might find useful, like maybe generating some photography might be useful. At the same time, I have had this extraordinary journey in my photography, both through video and through self photography, self portraiture. And it has given me so much like real confidence in myself to the point where I have just become like really, really proud and happy with the way that I look on camera, the way that I express myself. Back at the beginning, I started editing my own videos and I came from this sense of like hating the way that I looked on camera. And I'm editing YouTube videos of myself and I create this sort of a objectivity where there's me as the editor editing this other version of me who's on the screen. And doing that, creating this separation where I didn't actually feel like I was the person on the screen, but I was more the person doing the editing, I started to appreciate the person that was on the screen who was so magnetic and charismatic and passionate and like very real and authentic. And I was like, gosh, she is so charming. She is so magnetic. Like, wow, I'm really digging her. I like cool. Like, who is she? Oh, wait a second, she's me. Oh gosh, you're pretty amazing. Wow, I'm pretty amazing. Like that was a whole journey that I went on. So I think that when we just say, oh, I don't like my photos aren't good enough, here AI turned me into a glamorous supermodel, that there is something lost in the authentic discovery that you're already extraordinary. And so I don't want that piece to be lost. And yet, something in the frequency of that photo that my friend put out was very real, very authentic, and very powerful. And so maybe this whole thing is less a question of like this or that, less a question of this is all bad and this is all good in either direction, but maybe it is a walk that each of us are going to have to take where we discuss, where we contemplate, where we have conversations like this around in my ethical world, what is okay and what is not okay when it comes to AI. In my creative and artistic world, what is okay when it comes to AI and what is not okay when it comes to AI. And maybe we're all going to be coming up with different answers based on where our true like creativity flows from, where our artistry really lies. So that for me, my artistry very much is in my voice and my speaking and my writing and my words. And so maybe that's not so much a place where I'm going to use AI, but maybe I'll use it for idea generation. I don't know, maybe. Although for me, oh my goodness, I mean, my ideas are like these direct downloads and it's like, "Oop, idea, and then I speak." So maybe it's not my ideas, or maybe I'm using the ideas to spark the downloads. I don't know. And maybe I will do one of these AI photo shoots, but I'd rather actually put together a photo shoot where I can actually do it the way that I actually want it, because there's something about the physical body and inhabiting the photos. And so I'll continue to do my own photo shoots, but I don't know. I'm really in contemplation on this. And I think that the bottom line for me is that I'm not going to be in resistance, rejecting it when somebody else is finding value in it. And I think that's one of the most important things that we can do in this and in everything. It's understand that there's always going to be more than one perspective. And you just get to find where you live in the middle of it. And that is good. Okay. So let me know what you think about this. I'd love your opinions. I'd love to know, where you are with AI and are you using it? And I'll share more with you as I sort of contemplate it more and get exposed to it more. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, follow me on Instagram, on Facebook. I have got that Pie in the Sky free masterclass. I've got the Profitable Performer free Facebook group. I've also got a lot of extraordinary paid programs, and it's about time that I start talking about them more because they really are portals of initiation. Like every single one is a portal of initiation. It is a portal of transformation, taking you on a journey. Each program is a journey, particularly the live group program. So I do have some passive programs on social media, but I also have these live group programs where I lead you through some big initiations and transformations when it comes to different topics, all having to do with what you need as an artistpreneur. Things like sales and marketing, things like social media, things like mindset, things like manifestation and money. There's just a lot of richness in these programs. And my favorite way, and I'll leave a link in the description, is my all access pass Unshakable. So if you resonate with the way that I talk, the way that I teach, I highly recommend that you check out the programs. You can message me or check my other channels where I sell more often, or you can join me for the year inside of Unshakable, and we'll go on a year-long journey together of massive, massive growth and up level as an artistpreneur. And now, as always, go out into the world and shine your light. You have a voice, you deserve to be heard, and the world deserves to hear you.